so in love with you.
Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is gonna be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and personally, I'm starting to get a little bit tired of hearing people say prices are only going down a little bit and the housing market is not going to crash because we need to go down 40 to 50% in value and it's only a correction. But here are the facts. We are having the fastest price declines in the history of the housing market right now. Remember, the housing market is slow. It's not the stock market. It takes time because prices lag behind quantitative tightening and guideline changes. We now have so much data that, at least to me, clearly shows we are headed towards a home price crash. And I find it particularly cringe when I hear these ego monster investors keep flip-flopping on what's going to happen next. The sheer lack of comprehension and humility in the real estate industry is completely a disgrace and failure to society. So, allow me to help provide you with data and links to the data so that y'all can formulate your own conclusion despite my own personal opinion. But remember, you guys, I'm not a financial advisor, even though my bio is as a realtor, loan officer, and instructor in all things real estate. And I had a foreclosure and bankruptcy and repo and crawled my way back to having exceptional credit. I own a house right now, even though I'm renting. So I'm really kind of in this with you. Anyone that's on the sideline right now, any potential homeowner, anyone that has ever had a challenge, I'm your boy. For that, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and guys, please, I'm telling you, don't leave me hanging. Shoot me a quick comment below. Regardless, let's get started right now. So we're going to take a look at an article from Fortune that really goes into the Redfin CEO and how the Redfin CEO has confirmed that this price crash right now is like nothing we've ever experienced before, right? Do y'all hear me, investors, egomaniacs? Y'all hear me? Y'all get it, right? Like look beyond your nose, right? Like if you have the ability, can you look past your nose, right? I don't think they can. These guys are in la la land, man. It's crazy because they have so much money, they come up with their own reality. It's insane. But the name of this article is Home Prices Are Falling Faster Now Than in 2006. Redfin CEO just revealed why. So let's just jump right into this article. The pandemic housing boom unleashed an investor mania unlike anything seen in the U.S. housing market since the last housing bubble. Average Joes poured into the market in hopes of building Airbnb empires. Institutional investors like Blackstone-owned Home Partners of America quickly expanded their single-family resident home portfolios. Home builders eager to strike while the iron was hot broke ground on a record number of spec homes. Y'all hear that? While iBuyers like Opendoor and Zillow ramped up their home buying programs. Fast forward to October, and that investor mania has been replaced by investor panic. The ongoing housing correction, U.S. home prices have fallen 1.6% between just June and August, has scared many investors to the sidelines because they're smart. That marks the first national home price decline since 2012. So again, you guys, the investor pullback makes sense unless you have a monster ego and can't see past your nose. Then nothing makes sense except to you, right? Because you're in your own la la land. Y'all get it? I'm not talking to my viewers, okay? Just to make that clear. While most housing economists don't foresee a correction on the scale of the great financial crisis bust, during which U.S. home prices fell between 27%. They do acknowledge that this home price correction is sharper than it was in 2006. The lagged Case-Shiller index already shows that home prices are down 8.2% in San Francisco. So I really want to point out, guys, that most of these investors that actually came into our market are actually new investors that lack experience. They lack the understanding and comprehension of market cycles, but they also lack the capital to get through the current challenges. And the number of new investors, guys, far outweighs any long-term investors or even institutional investors. So what I'm saying specifically is most of the investing recently in the housing market has been by people that unfortunately don't know what they're doing. Think about that, guys. The crash is going to come from investors and new construction. Mark my words, let's continue on. To Redfin CEO Glenn Kelman, the pandemic housing boom's investor frenzy helps explains why home prices are correcting faster this time around. Historically speaking, home prices are sticky. Sellers simply don't want to relent on price unless economics, like a supply glut, force their hand. That's not as much the case for institutional investors and builders. If they think prices are about to drop, they want to get out first. The fact that the pandemic housing boom saw investors become a higher share of buyers, Kelman says, ultimately makes the U.S. housing market more vulnerable to a faster swing down. Is that really that hard to understand? You guys, it's so hard for me not to make videos roasting these fools. I mean, it's so cringy, you guys. I have to tell you guys the things that I'm seeing out there. It is so it is so clearly ridiculous. The flip-flopping, the finger pointing, the I'm right, I've been saying this the whole time. It's disgusting. What's wrong with these people? Like, and here's the thing. That's why I don't care. I don't want to take over the world. I don't care if I have 5,000 doors. I never want to be like these people. I would rather have zero investments than lose my soul to money and greed. Get it? Let's get back to the article. In other words, Kelman is suggesting that real estate investors, including Redfin's iBuyer business, helped drive home prices up faster during the boom and will push prices down faster during the correction. So let me rant about this real quick. Like, it's so frustrating. People say all the time, we're not going to have a crash, we're going to have a correction. The thing is, what's their definition of a correction versus crash? There is no definition of crash or correction. So what I see is people that have absolutely zero comprehension about how normal American, like the challenges of normal American households, they throw around these words to fit their own narrative and so that they feel right about what's happening. To me, if someone just buys a house and they lose just 10%, devastating. Not only is that devastating, you have to remember it can take as much as 8% just to sell your house. So how much are these people really upside down? All right, rant over. My take is that business builders and iBuyers account for more inventory. That leads to a faster crash. Where one of them were an iBuyer, Kelman says, we notice immediately when fewer people are on our website and fewer are signing up for tours. We're sitting on 350 million worth of homes for sale that we bought with our own money, or worse, bought with borrowed money. And what we always told investors is that we would protect our balance sheet by acting quickly. We don't have hope as a strategy. We immediately started marking down things. So again, this is Redfin saying that we're going to act quickly and we're going to mark our homes down as much as they need to get rid of this inventory. And you guys, they're at the top. How do you think the little guys on the bottom that are poorly leveraged with horrible experience are doing? You guys really think they're doing well? I don't think they're doing so well. I think that they're hurting and freaking out right now. And personally, you guys, and again, unfortunately, from their demise, more than likely, that's going to give us buying opportunity. And I say unfortunately because a lot of these people have just been foolishly tricked by all of these investors that say, hey, no matter what, just buy. Look at the year over year. Look at the year over year. It's never changing. It's not going to crash. Only sales transactions are going to crash. But here's the thing. How do you feel right now taking that advice? Do y'all feel good? Do y'all feel trapped? Do y'all enjoying the price declines? Do you see my point? Make up your own minds, you guys. Be cautious. This is the biggest financial transaction of your life, and real estate can be a wonderful thing. But if you don't respect it, if you don't treat it with respect, if you just rush in and let your emotions take over, you will get burned, more than likely. But why risk it? Let's get back to the article. Of course, so-called investor mania during the pandemic housing boom wasn't one size fits all. The investor frenzy was particularly fierce in Western boom towns like Phoenix, Austin, and Las Vegas. That helps explain why those frothy housing markets are correcting so dramatically right now. So again, you guys, so dramatically. I don't understand why these intelligent people are not acknowledging this. Like, the delusion is out of control right now. I mean, everyone can see it, but themselves, it's insane. Look no further than the property in North Las Vegas. In May, Open Door bought the home for $540,000. Just weeks later, Open Door listed for sale in July at $581,000, which is a $41,000 profit approximately. But Open Door was too late. The Las Vegas housing market had already rolled over. Fast forward to October, and that listing just got taken off the market after a series of price cuts brought its list price to $472,000, and they still can't sell it. They still can't sell it. Think, you guys, think. The writing is on the wall. At first glance, one might assume Open Door could soon take a loss of around 13% on the property. Not exactly. See, when iBuyers like Redfin and Open Door buy a home, they charge sellers a service fee in exchange for the speedy transaction. On one hand, that buffers the potential loss for the iBuyers. Interesting. On the other hand, that buffer means the iBuyers is less afraid to mark down the price. Not everyone agrees with Kelman. Back in May, Zillow officials told Fortune that companies failed iBuyer program, which notoriously overpaid for homes until Zillow announced in November of 2021 it would exit the program. Didn't drive up U.S. home prices during the pandemic housing boom. In Zillow's eyes, the buying program was simply too small to do so. And I'm telling you guys, the investor share is outrageous. Most of the investors have been investing for less than 5 years. And in certain metro areas, like in Dallas, Fort Worth, certain zip codes, investor shares were over 50% in Q1 and Q2 of 2022. Think about that. So you guys, I think what happened is greed took over. That fear of missing out even hit investors, and a whole bunch of people that thought investing in real estate was a good idea are about to find out it's not. So in conclusion, we will not need nearly as much inventory for resale homes with homeowners who have a 3% or under interest rate. Nevertheless, we will get inventory from resale homes as always, because again, remember, the primary reason that people move is employment. Nevertheless, with a massive investor share and with all of the quantitative tightening, topped with all of the clueless investors, we will have a price crash created from these people, especially any recent flippers that purchased property in Q2 or Q3 of 2022. But not only that, remember also, new construction is also going to have a massive price crash. So, in other words, y'all, be patient. In conclusion, we will not need nearly as much inventory from resale homes with homeowners that had interest rates at 3% or under. Nevertheless, we will still get inventory from resale homes because remember the primary reason why people move: employment. Nevertheless, with a massive investor share and with all of the quantitative tightening and with all of the clueless, ill-prepared investors, we will have a price crash created from these people, especially any recent flippers, home flippers that purchased in Q2 or Q3 of 2022. But not only that, remember also, new construction is also going to have massive price cuts. So, in other words, you guys, be patient. These people out here screaming, there's no crash, buy right now, find a great deal, don't have your best interest in mind. And it's clearer now more than ever, except to them, that they only have their best interest in mind and not yours. And other than that, you guys, I really hope you guys got some value, insight, and perspective from today's video. And if you're out there investing in real estate, I do wish you luck and I hope you win.